The Wauwatosa Tourism Commission has charged us with making Wauwatosa a premier arts destination in the United States. And so we started doing some research about how we would pull that off. And it quickly became clear that we needed to bring a world-class artist to Wauwatosa to create a custom piece of artwork. And Thomas Dambo came up pretty quickly as an art that was world-class, appealing, and a right fit for Wauwatosa. The tourism specialist, Beth Gleasing, and I collaborated to really sell Wauwatosa as the right home for Thomas Dambo's next custom troll.
The Commission has decided to do this through a commitment to public art, knowing that public art increases the value of the overall community. The land was previously unused and has been turned into a dynamic community green space through the use of grant funding. Plus, the imagination he brings to his sculptures really is a fit for the fun and creative nature of the community of Wauwatosa.
When I heard about the park being created, I thought, well, that's really cool. When I heard about the troll coming, I thought, that is really outside of anything I've known Tosa to be. Wisconsin alone is a lot of times known for our sausage and our cheese and our beer, and that's awesome, and I love all of that. But now put another layer over that, and adding public art to this, and an internationally known artist, and I just am really excited, and I'm really proud to be a Tosa resident.
Thomas himself and his entire team, they're really creative. They've been really great to work with. The team's really been almost global. We've had phone conversations to Denmark, to Canada, to the west coast of the US. Again, I just feel very fortunate to be one of those people on this team.
Challenge was that to make sure that we had the articulation or the pose that Thomas wanted. That's the first thing that we want always. Don't lose that part of the magic of the storytelling, right? That's why we are here.
So I find this wood, I find this light pose, the Wauwatosa rhymes with Mama Rosa. It's like, okay, that's it. Doesn't need to be more complicated than that. Trolls don't understand humans. They don't know what is a car. They don't know what is a light pole. They don't understand like these things, and they're actually a little bit afraid of humans. So it takes something to lure them out of the forest and into the human world. So in this case, Mama Rosa, she is like, maybe this light pole is a flower. How comes it's like lighting up at night and it doesn't need water to grow? And like, what is this? She doesn't really understand it. So she's trying to understand it.
You know, we've been here, done that, or like Thomas and I say, this is not our first rodeo. Julian have probably like 100 trolls that he made. Jacob, we call him the expert of the hands because he's really good with the fingers hands. He's probably have the same amount. And then Will, that started the same year as me in Maine, he lives in Denmark, so he has more than me. So I'm the lowest. Special about this troll that has electricity and it's going to be light.
I think my favorite part of the project is telling the story about how Thomas Dambo, the designer of the troll, came to visit us the day we were basically about to break ground on the park. And he pushed us to think a little bit further and a little bit harder about sustainability.
When Thomas visited Wauwatosa, our park had not yet started construction. And so we kicked off in our Public Works conference room showing him the park plans. And then we walked through our Public Works yard to show him that space so he could explore for recycled materials. And we had all of these old light poles, street light poles.
We had existing light poles on North Avenue, and over the years, they had come off the street and they were just being stored at the DPW without much of a purpose. When Thomas Dambo did his initial site visit, he saw these poles and wanted to incorporate them, but they weren't really in condition to use anymore.
As always, I ask what's in your trash can, what you have laying around, what's your leftovers. There was like these crazy nice light poles, and I said, maybe we could use them in my sculpture. And I'm just super proud that I made the city of Wauwatosa recycle their old light poles instead of buying new ones, which was their original plan. As I heard, they instead of paying $300,000 for new ones, they now spend $60,000 refurbishing the old ones. That makes my recycle heart really proud.
Another unique aspect of this troll, and keeping in line with Thomas Dambo's sustainability mission, all of the wood components of the sculpture our urban lumber that was sourced from Wauwatosa's urban forest. These are trees that the forestry department had scheduled to take down because they were sick or they were dying or in decline. But rather than grind them up for mulch, we had them milled into lumber here at the DPW, dried here at the DPW, and now Thomas Dambo has turned them into this beautiful sculpture.
And that's the mission with my art, that is to show us that we can build the future out of our trash. We can save ourselves from drowning in our waste. We can save our world from that, and then we can turn it into something positive, something that has meaning for the future, something that cleans the world.
Thomas Dambo's art is family-friendly and fun, and those are two words that perfectly describe Wauwatosa.
Public art is something that is for everyone to enjoy. The beauty of public art is that it's not something kept away in someone's private collection, but it's out there for everyone to enjoy. People can come, visit it, make up their own story about it, and I'm really excited that Wauwatosa continues to invest in public art right here in our community.
She's a symbol of everything that makes Wauwatosa unique: creative, welcoming, and a place where stories are just waiting to be uncovered.